All right, quick demo of this thing, just where it's at. So this is a V03 receiver board with 3 Q modules, so 24 total, and these chain, so I can just keep putting more on. That loop back's just for the board count. So when this thing starts up, it will effectively read the resistance across there and figure out that it has 3 boards attached to it. And then we'll just cycle the LEDs and just do a quick little self health test. So I have the controller up here. This is just the web UI for it. So we have a show right now that is staged with 2 things on B1 2 and B122. So B1 is the zone I have assigned to that controller or that receiver. And you see here that 2 and 22, we can kind of see, if we click on it, it'll tell us what's actually on it. So let's see too that there's really not any, displays there about, any health that, which means that they're not connected. So let's go back to this. Let's turn it on, and it's just running off of battery power. So it's gonna wait a sec, do the health check after boards, and then once we see a blinking light, that's the synchronizing blink. Oh, looks like we had a little bounce there. There we go. Took it a sec to connect. So that's our synchronizing blink. So then we see up here, we're connected and we got our battery percentage in range. So that is meaning that it has good signal. That would mean that there's a show loaded if there is one, and that means that it's actively playing. So we can go here and load our show. And so that should load, and once it loads, it will report. So that's now lit up. And if we look at our board, we now have reflected here that we need a continuity Q on 2 and we need one on 22. So I'm going to awkwardly tuck my phone into my shirt so I can put a Q in. Where did it go? So here, if I push this into one that does not have something, so this is actually easy, just press them both down and just slide this in. Then you get blue. So now we see here that it shows we have something plugged into 15. But that's obviously not what we want, but good to know. So if I plug it into one of the ones that is red, then we would get green, meaning that we have continuity there and that's ready to fire. So here we see green on 22. So what the system would actually do when we're going to run the show is each controller, when you hit play, we would go through and it checks its own continuity versus what's loaded. And if you have continuity on the targets loaded, then it signals back to this main host that it's ready to fire. Else, if there's something wrong with the health check like that, then this thing won't signal that it's ready and the host will scrub the show altogether and give you error messages based on, this receiver said that it doesn't have continuity here, or this receiver is too low on battery or whatnot. So that's that. I don't want to go run over the box to fire it, but this is effectively the system pre-show. So once everything's hooked up, you would need to go to the box. This says waiting on start. You need to hit the start button, which would delegate control back to this. And then when you hit start here, it would start that whole system of pre-flight checks. And when you do have errors, it would show in this check errors thing. So they just list on here. But yeah, pretty happy with it. As I think I posted on the blog thing, got some work to do still on these boards. Another revision is on its way. But yep,